And now, it's time for Odin's Fear, Leifthrasir, with our good friend Demerine.
Hi, everybody. One more time around today, I guess. But this is going to be Odin's Fear, Leifthrasir. It is a remake from 2017 of an original Vanillaware game from 2009. Down there's a classic mode option, which we're not going to select. If you want to play the original game, you do get that option as well. It's not that great, but I really loved it, and so when the new version came out, and I, started speedrunning it. But more importantly, though, we get to play only one of the 5 characters in the storyline. I think I only offered up 3 to this marathon, but which character are we running this fine evening?
All right, let me refresh one more time. It looks like we have Mercedes up top.
All right, so I'm going to have to load a save here because I have to get to the character. I keep a full set of saves so I can get to the character. That is not the right save. That is the correct save. I, of course, am joined tonight by Sylverfyre and Leggystarscream, who will be doing the bulk of the work tonight because I'm going to try and concentrate on seeing if I can get my first sub 55 tonight. Probably won't happen, but you never know.
We believe in you.
Yeah, we've got our fairy princess, and this should be fun.
Kitty.
We'll get to the kitty later.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Yeah, I promised there would be cat petting, but we don't ever do it at the start of a run.
You can pet the cat,
and we will. I promise we will pet the cat at the end.
If you don't pet the cat after your run finishes, your run is invalid.
Correct.
It is law.
It's time for cat chat, everyone.
Yeah, break out with your best cat puns if you got them, because that's what I'm all about. But I'm ready to get started. I'm all warmed up now. I've been stretching, so we're good. So we'll go in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. I think the big thing about Odin's Fear is that Odin's Fear is a beat 'em up, and we're going to skip all the plot, by the way, but Odin's Fear is a beat 'em up. 4 of the 5 characters are known for being able to get in there and brawling. And then there's Mercedes, who has a magical crossbow.
Yep. And so her POW bar, the green bar at the top, kind of acts as ammunition. And we have like a little mini tutorial here where it kind of explains how to use the different moves. Demi's actually like using the moves that the tutorial is going to tell her about, just before the tutorial says anything, to skip the tutorial dialogue.
I wish more games had that feature. Like, I'll be going through, I'll be playing a game, the game tries to explain a thing, and I'm like, I already know it. Can I just tell you what you want me to do?
Yep, exactly. And so you do that in this game, the tutorial is like, oh, you got it? Okay, next.
There's a little bit more timing to it than that, sadly.
Timing, because it has to be in the order that the tutorial goes in, which actually makes it a little bit technical, but for Mercedes, it's fairly straightforward.
Yeah, only Gwendolyn has a really technical tutorial segment. Well, actually, Oswald does too, but my Gwendolyn splits literally have a split for do tutorials.
Yeah, we're being sent off into the Forest of Elrit to go chase down a wizard and talk to him and try to convince him to join to support us, because we're going to be the fairy queen. And meanwhile, our advisor's fomenting a revolution back at home, but we'll get there later.
Yay, politics!
But we need to pick up basically everything in this chapter, because we need 60 gold to buy some equipment in this chapter. We just ate some mulberries there, which is actually, eating gives you XP in this game. And the food is generally wonderfully crafted, and unfortunately we won't get to see very much of it.
I highly, highly recommend, if you've never seen this game before, just go back, watch a playthrough or food images, because I swear they pulled them straight out of like a cookbook or something.
Yep. So as I mentioned, that POW thing kind of acts as ammunition for our crossbow. And one of the things that Demi's doing is, if you pause for just a brief moment, then the next shot out of the crossbow will be a little bit bigger, but not actually consume any additional power. And we're going to try, basically, one of the things we're doing is we're going to be using that to try to avoid reloading as much as possible, because you can reload. You land on the ground, and then Mercedes will do like a animation of pulling back her crossbow and reload, but it takes a couple seconds. We also have this new round shot, and it's pretty powerful. It's really good at area of effect, but it uses Frozen power, which are those pink sparkles that are the souls of enemies that we've killed.
Hey, would you believe that I just had a 9-second gold split there?
Oh, nice. Wow. Also, there's a question in chat saying that from a casual gaming perspective, this person played a small bit of one story in the first Odin Sphere. Is this a decent remaster?
Oh, it's fantastic, actually. It fixes a lot of the problems of the original game, honestly. The original game was pretty clunky, honestly. Like, I toy with it on occasion, but I don't really play it. You don't need to play it to, like, do anything. But the remaster is so much smoother. It smooths out all the combat systems. It smooths out all the experience systems. It makes everything so much better. All right, we're going to go right into the sell menu. I have a ton of money. Holy carp. I actually get to hang on to this 2 material also. That's awesome. That's rare. So that'll help me later. But we're going to buy Saturn Bangles. And we grabbed one. We grabbed one and we're going to buy 2 more.
Yep. Yeah, we just got one from that boss fight, and then we get 2 more. Saturn Bangles increase the damage you deal by 10%. They also increase the damage you receive by 10%, so it does make us a little bit squishy and paper thin. But, we're going we're here to go fast. We're not here to take hits.
At least not right now.
For now. Saturn Bagels. Right. There's a lot of alchemy in this game, and we just used a Cyclone Potion there. It drops that little whirlwind down. Those are pretty respectable amounts of damage you get from them. The Toxin Potion that the boss dropped, we immediately throw it back and poison this dragon Belial. We're trying to kill Belial before he does this animation where he goes underground and you can't damage him. Mercedes does not have a problem beating that timer, though. She is... Of the 5 characters in this game, she deals the most damage.
Yeah.
Do
you want to take a minute and talk about who those 5 different characters are while we have a quick window?
Well, so the other 2 characters that were in the bid war, Gwendolyn the Valkyrie has a spear. She's the first character that you would play as if you picked up this game and just played it casually. And then you kind of play through each of the 5. The other character that was up for the bid war was Velvet, who's a sorceress Cirrus with a chain scythe type weapon. And then you have the 2 other characters in this game are Cornelius, who is a puka, which is basically a bunny person, and Oswald, who is a berserker with a cursed sword, and he's kind of a little weird because he has a special berserk ability that makes him really powerful for short periods of time.
All right, we're going to take advantage of fly because we need to kind of fly up through these stages a little bit. So,
yep. So this is Mercedes going and dealing with that rebellion that I had mentioned. Her advisor was forming against her while she was going off and doing things in the forest.
I did not finish the reload there. That's annoying.
Yeah, so that was the reload animation. Demi tries to start fighting the moment that the reload animation finishes to try and cancel the tail end of that animation.
Yep, it's real timing based.
There's a lot of animation canceling in this game.
Also, there's even tech for flying fast. The game tells you that to fly, you hold down X and when you're in the air and you'll start flying. If you hold down the dodge button, which is R1, and also mash the attack button while you're flying, you will fly twice as fast.
Is that an intended mechanic or a glitch or what?
I'm not sure.
It makes a little sound effect when you do it. So, I don't think it's entirely unintentional, but I don't know exactly what it is. Here's us using that round shot that uses the Frozen power for for AoE clearing these enemies. Because one thing about this crossbow is it doesn't pierce through enemies, except for those slightly more powerful shots after she pauses for a moment. Or special abilities like the large round shot that fires a bullet almost as big as the screen.
Mm-hmm. We're flying up. We're going through. I mean, while we go through, there's a couple more rooms of chaff enemies before we get to the next mini-boss. So now would be a good time if we've got anything going on in Donation Land.
I do have some stuff in Donation Land.
Hooray!
We have $10 from Anonymous with no comment, but thank you so much for your generosity. And also just wanted to discuss a few of the upcoming incentives that we have. We have a lot of naming incentives for Leggystarscream with Rhea Skies. If you want to name some cool stuff, you can do that. There's also a rice planting mini game that can be shown off as a cool incentive. That sounds fun. And then there are some learning with Liz. You can choose what game Liz is going to teach one of the studio staffs. And you can watch Liz and Zoe have a live Pringles any % raise. And by Pringles any %, they will just be consuming Pringles on camera. You know you want to see it. And that's all from Donation Land.
Well, we have another one of these paladin unicorn mini bosses. That's actually like a bipedal unicorn in armor. I kind of like that boss.
It is a really fascinating design. I love, like, we went on a little bit about the food earlier, but seriously, every single sprite in this game is so lovingly crafted.
And we are going to dash our way up to the second boss. We're going to hit up, and we're going to fight. We're going to have Mercedes' one character versus character fight. We're going to fight Oswald.
So, this fight is a little bit different than a lot of her other boss fights because, well, Oswald's a lot smaller than a lot of the other bosses, but we're going to try and use this whirlwind potion to control the fight at the start, and we're going to do our best to keep Oswald juggled. This is a beat 'em up. It's got some fighting game style mechanics. We do unfortunately have to land and reload. Also, you cannot juggle bosses indefinitely. After every time you do one of those health bars at the bottom, they'll basically end up into an automatic recovery mode where they can get out of almost any juggle.
Yep. The other thing though is that there's also a stun threshold in the game, which is how many hits and what specific type of hits you could take before you go into juggle state. Oswald's is so low that a round shot will always put him into juggle, and so we're just gonna take him up in the air here and finish the job real quick.
We're at 0 out of 22 ammo, so this last juggle will finish it, but we don't have any more ammo for those rounds.
But you measure it. I threw the volcano potion I got during the fight as a measured response, basically, to make sure that I would do enough damage to get to exactly 0 Fozons and then finish off the fight. The passive we're putting points into here, this increases the damage and piercing of the first shot that you fire. It also gives you a slight power regeneration boost, which is not the worst thing in the world. I took the wrong ability. Heck, that's fine. I can fix that. I will fix that in a minute. This can be fixed. It is not a big deal. You're supposed to take the power growth abilities for Mercedes. Everybody else goes left, she goes right in the tree. No big deal.
Doesn't she eventually go left?
She does, but I want gourmet faster. I want I want the increased levels because we are gonna eat some food soon.
Yeah, so that's a skill that you will eventually get. You just are getting them in a slightly different order than you normally would.
Yeah, it means I might take a safety after chapter 5. It's fine. Just to make sure I am doing enough damage. One wave room here, so the first two rooms in Age area are usually just one wave rooms, kind of showing you what's in the area. I mean, if you've played the game casually, you'll have already seen the winter enemies twice, but it's always nice. Yeah, it felt a little short there.
And I mean, each character does, because each character fights with a different weapon and fights in a different style, like, it does kind of help to, like, be like, okay, these, like, what is this character going to do against these types of things?
So, how actually different are all of the mechanics between all the different characters? You know, we talk about all of, like, for instance, Oswald having that berserk meter, Mercedes here having, you know, the ranged attacks. Like, how substantially different do they actually feel?
Everyone's a little bit tactically different. Like, for example, I can basically, on easy, keep in mind that the power regeneration, which is what I use for abilities on a lot of characters, that green bar, regenerates faster on easy than it does on other difficulties. It's part of why we play on easy. Keeping in mind that, like, with Gwendolyn, for example, she has an ability that basically I don't drop juggles ever, unless I want to. It's literally that easy with her once you start practicing it, compared to other characters. Like, on the flip side of the coin, Velvet's super technical in the early game, trying to get things off the ground. Cornelius plays very differently than a lot of the characters because his juggle is incredibly complicated to pull off.
Yeah, Cornelius is a lot more of like a ground-based fighter, which makes juggling a little complicated because you're knocking things into the air, necessarily, by juggling.
Yeah, so he plays a little bit differently, and then Oswald and Mercedes are the oddball characters, really. Obviously, the crossbow is a thing. We're going to dodge through this because we don't want to get hit. Dodging also just gives us timing to reload our first shot, which is kind of nice.
Yep, the dodging does give you a little bit of iframes there.
Yep.
It's also one of the fastest ways to move in this game in general for any character. So, the few times that you will see Demi, you know, be on the ground instead of flying, because flying is, for Mercedes, faster than anything else.
Mm-hmm.
But if she does have to move across the ground for any reason, she'll do these little, like, hop, 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 hop backwards. Like we're playing Castlevania or something.
Yeah,
And,
we'll do 2 or 3 of them in a row.
And it's also quite fast movement.
Right, and we're going to want to be on the same... You see, what I'm trying to do here in this room is I'm trying to get all the enemies on the same side, right? Like, the whole idea is that if all the enemies are lined up, I can do this. And hit everything, like a couple of screens away. The mini-map on top of the screen is so important in this game.
Yep, you can actually see, like, when she fires a round shot, it shows on the mini-map, you can see that it is going about 2 or 3 screen widths worth of, distance and hitting enemies that far away.
Yeah, that was a sub-30 Griffin's room, by the way. That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's nice that it gives you the time for each individual room, because then you can kind of...
Yeah, you have a sense of how you're doing. Also keep in mind that we're running a real-time timer, but the actual speedrun itself, because it runs on 3 different systems and they all have 3 different load times, you can get this on PS3, PS4, or PS Vita. We go by IGT. So there's an in-game timer that's running. That's what we use to time the runs. So at the end of the run, I do need to grab the book at the end and see what my time was. Which will be very important, because I like to know how I'm doing.
We have time for a donation in here?
Yes.
All right. We have $20 from the Liberal that says, this donation is for my rival/sisters, Vorthala. Name the rival Doofus.
All right. I need to fix something really quickly, Tyr. Sorry, I need to step in. I need to teleport. I need to teleport back and go do a little bit of shopping because, as Syl and Leggy know, and maybe the rest of you don't know, I am messing this up and losing time. We got to do something very important on this run.
You gotta get that bread.
We gotta go get that bread. We eat a lot of bread on this route. We got to eat 4, in fact. So we are going to fix what I messed up just a minute ago.
So chat, definitely pay attention now. This is probably going to be some of the most food you'll be able to get a chance to see.
Right, fixing the bread mistake, of course, cost me a bunch of time, but that's fine. Well, I'm a little nervous if you couldn't tell.
So that gave us, like, what, 4 level ups right there just from eating a couple bread rolls?
Yep.
I wish that's how it worked in real life.
I know, right?
I need to get a toxin potion drop here, or I'm in trouble. Blocking will do, I guess. Toxin. Status effects are very important in this game because fire and poison leave damage over time effects on targets. However, Wagner, for example, is immune to the fire status, so. Please stop this.
Reload and that was a little awkward. He bit us as we were trying to reload.
Happens. You get power back from taking damage and blocking, so it's also fine.
Yep, it's not actually that bad. It's just a little.
It's awkward.
Like it messes up our animation.
Blocking especially, like, if you're in the middle of a special animation, you can't get knocked out of it unless you actively hit square to block. But hitting square at any time during the attack will cause you to block, so we don't really want to do that. But now we're going to get our primary ability for the balance of the game for killing bosses, which is Hunter Shot. Which, when I actually get a chance to fire it off on a target, we will explain it. Also, I'm 4 foes on Shy. That kind of stings as well. All right, so now we're in Titania Capital. This is the kingdom where Cornelius comes from. But we got to fight our way in and rescue a friend. So we're gonna do some fighting. Ooh, level 3 toxin. We need that for later. As you can see, I took a hit there, but I didn't get bumped out of the animation because of the being in a special attack animation.
Yep. And here we are with the juggling again, and then we kind of drop it, do our reload just as it does his automatic recover. Dodge out of his big fancy axe swing, get him off the ground, and we should finish it off this.
Pretty quickly.
Not quite. Didn't quite finish it off that particular ammo bar, but that's fine.
We're gonna grab the food there. We go right to here.
Speaking of food, I saw someone in chat earlier talking about egg toast, and they eat it after being in this game. Are there any recipes like that for anyone here?
I really like the shrimp salad. Both in real life and in this game.
Are there any desserts you eat in this game? I'm
There
feeling
are
like
many
There are
desserts.
many desserts.
I'm
There
feeling
are
like
many
dessert
beautiful
time.
desserts.
It's dessert time for me.
All right, so we're gonna find a Hunter Shot here, just to make sure that it's bound for later. You'll see it fires off these 3 green orbs that now will chase targets. It's not as efficient on this particular fight because this fight really wants for me to be using my round shot to sweep up all the little ones that come up as I deal damage to the big one. But I just wanted to have it. I wanted to have the command set ready for later. Let's see if I can do something really silly here. It's doubtful, but we're gonna try.
So this ooze, when we get to a certain point, has an animation play where he breaks into a couple smaller pieces of ooze. If we can manage to freeze these oozes solid, then they won't get broken into their smallest form, which
Yeah, it's real hard to do.
A lot faster.
Yeah, I cannot pull it off though here, which is fine.
I don't think we had enough ice elemental potions to do it.
I burned the world. I got a lucky whirlwind before, and I burned it off, not thinking about it, trying to get through sections faster, forgetting that it might be better for this part.
Yeah, potion management tends to be one of those things, because potion drops are incredibly RNG dependent, correct?
Yes.
They are. And while like, if you're playing this casually, you can like pick up plenty of little alchemy ingredients like There are plants that are all over the place that you can grab and make whatever potions you want. But we don't have time to stop and pick flowers.
Nope.
Wait, you mean you don't stop and spell the roses in speedrunning? I don't understand.
Another thing that you see Demi doing is she's actually, so like the way the maps work in this game is it's kind of like each fight room is pretty much a circle, and there are exits at certain points of them that go to like, there's like actually a map that she could stop and look at. She's not going to, but she does have to line up at like a particular exit. So like this exit goes to that next rest area, which is where she's going. She wants to be at the exit before the fight's even over. So she's making sure she's positioned at a particular part of each circle as each fight is ending. So that the moment that like battle complete screen is done, and she grabs her rewards and leaves immediately.
So we're gonna do a little bit of crafting here. This is yogurt. Yogurt's important.
Yep, yogurt increases the amount of XP that food gives you, and it's made from mixing a potion and milk.
I'm also gonna dump some inventory into this, but I want to make it level 6. So I'm gonna use up a lot of supplies here right now, just because I'm trying to buffer my levels a little bit. So we're gonna eat these 3 pieces of cheese that we got. And then we're going to go to a split, which I lovingly have in my split list. It is called Stop Teleporting.
We are fighting a jerk wizard. It is a very rude wizard robe, just like he was from like a Zelda game or something.
Like I can't run games that don't have wizard robes. Clearly.
He not only does he teleport like every once in a while, but when he starts his teleport animation, he has iframes. You can't hurt him. It is possible to juggle him, but it is difficult to keep him juggled, and it's difficult to start juggling him.
It goes without saying that we are going to try, though.
Looks like we stunned him at least.
Yeah, if he does the swords magic, which you can tell which magic he's using by the aura that he's generating, he will go into stun state, which does allow me to do this. And then he'll break stun state, and then... Friend, I need that volcano potion from you. And this is where we're going to end up using Hunter Shot a little bit.
Yep. Hunter Shot is one of the other special abilities that we haven't seen very much of. It's going to fire these 3 green orbs. They chase down enemies, go through them, and just keep hitting them over and over.
And we're going to poison this silly wizard as well.
Yep. One thing nice about the poison is that the poison status doesn't care that he's teleporting. It keeps doing the damage.
Yep.
That's real important. Looks like we finally got a juggle started. We're going to try and keep it as long as we can.
Yeah, we're just going to dump a power bar because it's about as inconsistent as it gets, honestly.
Remember, fellow wizards, learn to teleport the poison out of your system. Or don't, because you'll make Demi very upset.
Don't want to get hit by these ice shots, so we're just going to take them out of the round. We're going to fire another round here. Oh, come on. Missed it by a hair.
Yeah, that's what I mentioned, how his teleport animation will make him temporarily invulnerable and real obnoxious.
Fight's hard from an RNG standpoint. That was actually a pretty good fight. I only lost about 10 seconds there, so I'm not feeling too
10
put
seconds
out.
against the gold split?
Yeah, 10 seconds since my gold split, yeah.
Wow.
Like, that
For
fight,
a hard, random fight like that, that is pretty nice to see.
missing that round shot probably cost me about half of it, which is fine. But we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna grab Gourmet here.
Yep,
Little
Gourmet
late.
increases the XP that you get from food. We normally grab it a little earlier, but Demi spent some points on something else by accident.
It's fine.
It's not going to be that big of a deal.
we're gonna do the rest of our food here in a moment, so it'll be good. Well, we're going to the underworld now, land of the dead.
Yeah, we need to rescue a dwarf who can upgrade the Reblum so that it can break another cipher, and in this case, break the Odin sphere, because Odin had the fairies and the Valkyries are fighting a war in this, and Odin has a cipher weapon, another weapon based on these little jewels, like one Mercedes has here, which is a giant, enormous morning star.
And the thing you have to note about it is that these weapons are designed to drain the life energy from the things that they fight. Fairies are literally just made of life energy. That's all they are. So basically, in Chapter 1, what ends up happening is that you're at the start of the war over a mythical artifact that lets you control the flow of phosons and gives you essentially infinite power. And of course, of the Odin side, the Valkyries were winning the war at first. Odin gets to the palace of... Oh, I missed an enemy. This is very bad. Gets to the palace of the fairies and wins the war. Right? Wins this battle of the war, holds the orb up in front of Titania, and kills her instantly. Just by holding up this powerful weapon in front of her. Clearly, we do not stand a chance against Odin. We should not be playing this game.
On the other hand, this is anime. You'll be fine.
This boss is Haya. It's another teleporting jerk. The teleporting on this is a little bit less random and obnoxious than Beldor's in the previous fight. Mostly in that Haya does not get quite as much invincibility from a slow teleport animation.
I really don't feel like getting hit by that attack. I'm my damage so low right now. Something feels wrong. I feel like I made a mistake somewhere. That's fine.
Aren't you usually
I'm usually level 21
or something?
Yeah.
It's probably just the fact that you're a little bit lower level.
Yeah, not getting gourmet is kind of fouling up everything. Probably throw this volcano potion out just for some expediency here. Tried to block. That was very funny. Yeah. Not bad. Just again, I think I'm a little bit off route in terms of experience, and that's a very big deal because you don't get a lot of experience in easy. You don't grind at all. We're gonna go this way. I always forget which way I want to go. So these are Leggystarscream. We grab the Shine Potion because it lets us deal damage and reveal them. They are normally invulnerable when they first show up if they're not in light. In the darkness, they're invulnerable.
There's also that little like undead thing carrying a candle around that'll also provide light that'll reveal them, but it's a much smaller bit of light.
And it's slow. Like, you have to follow it around. It's not stationary. By throwing down the Shine Potion and it makes a stationary location, you can actually just sort of sit there and let them spawn into it instantly. Here's Poltergeist. We were hoping to get Poltergeist skips. No assurance of that. We're actually going to get a negative teleport there. Poltergeist is assured to teleport every phase, if not in the middle of an attack. But since Poltergeist is in the middle of an attack there, when the health bar breaks, cannot teleport.
Interesting.
Yep. So we try to take advantage of that. We're going to grab this Healing Tonic because we want that for safety for later.
That one's pretty much just entirely safety. There he is again in the middle of an attack.
Yep.
So what would you say the hardest fight in this particular category is?
Just in Mercedes in general, it is absolutely the last fight. It is absolutely the Odin fight. It is 4.5 minutes long. And Odin can instantly kill you if you make a mistake. Shoutouts will also go to Chocobut. Chocobut can also kill you pretty easily. But that's also because if you're speedrunning, you're trying to do something very particular to go fast. That is a little bit unsafe. That's actually much better. That's actually a really good Poltergeist fight. We are going to go and do some shopping now, because we need to fix our levels.
Yep. And that's not kind of like, that's not even just like, oh, we messed something up, we need to fix them. That's just like, we are 10 levels under where the game thinks we should be. We need levels. And so we're going to buy a bunch of food.
All right, well, first we're going to sell a bunch of stuff, because...
First we're going to, like, sell everything.
Like, cause I want to buy a lot of food, because this is a marathon, right? Cool.
I know I need my snacks.
Yep, so we're going to buy...
I would sell my soul for some good snacks.
So we're going to grab 3 shrimp here. And we are going to eat them right from the shell. But first we are going to use this level 2 material. We're going to burn off this, we're going to burn off these level 2 healing tonics. We're going to use these grapes. We're going to throw that in there, I guess. We're going to use this egg. We're going to throw this milk in. We're going to make another level 6 yogurt. We're going to chug the level 6 yogurt, and we are going to eat a bunch of seafood after dairy. I don't know why. This still works, but it does. Just
Fairy physiology, let's not worry about it.
assume it's a cream sauce. Let's move on.
We were level 21 when we started. We're now level 25.
Just shy of 6. Maybe at 6. Oh, yeah, we just made 6.
26. So we gained 5 levels right there. And that is a lot. Like, there are stats in this game. We don't really stop and look at our stat menu at all, but they exist and they go up a lot each level.
Yep.
What is level cap in this game, technically?
99. Realistically, you will finish the game on normal at about 50 to 55. On hard at around 62 to 67. On easy, I can do the entire game at level 28.
All right, so here is Odette. Again, she teleports, just like everything else in the underworld. Ooh, that stunk.
Yeah, I was trying to get away from that.
She teleports pretty much once every health bar, and there's nothing you can do about it. So it's no real RNG here.
Yep. I do want that, though, for later. I'm actually going to throw 1 volcano at Odette here in just a sec. I actually mistimed that. I want her to be in this part of the animation, because I know I'm going to hit it, which is good. So some attacks that she does cause the dizzy status, you just mash out. I mean, it's a fighting game, so you mash your buttons and you get out of it really quickly. Alright, so now we're going to do this, because since she's in this phase, we're going to actually use up this Blaze Potion we have from before, because she won't teleport at the end of this phase if I ends it quickly enough. What she will end up doing is she will just de-transform from spider form, which means the Blaze will continue ticking, which is super important.
I was wondering why you didn't use the Blaze earlier in the fight, but that makes sense.
Yes, because if I get that attack, which I oftentimes do on this fight, I get the full Blaze stack damage. I get 2 bars worth of health out of it instead of 1. And even those fights going kind of terribly. Like, this has been a really weird run in that I'm getting a lot of great splits and a lot of terrible splits as opposed to my usual everything is pretty okay, I guess.
It all looks pretty great from the standpoint of someone who like isn't looking at your live split.
That's fair. We're going to try and grab as many of these as we can. This might be actually a run that I actually get full Hunter, which is kind of not usual. I've been very frugal with my points here. There's unlimited ammo. Unlimited ammo is a great ability casually, but it's pretty useless for us, so we're not going to get it. Also, I didn't take Assault High 3. That's what I didn't do. Okay, that's why my damage's been so low. Never mind. I know what I did wrong. Assault High, what this ability does is that if you see that chain counter on my screen, the higher my chain counter gets, the more damage I do with Assault High. Missing a rank in it is very bad.
So,
I'm also going to grab power
but
supply. Oh, go ahead.
even without that, you still seem to be doing pretty okay. How hard is this game to pick up as a speed?
I'd say that it's a little bit technical, kind of getting used to kind of how the movement works and getting used to how air juggling works on enemies. But once you get that, like, a lot of what I did to kind of get fast at this was just practicing two things. There's routing, right? Where you get your food, where you get your levels, what you use your potions on, and execution, right? Just the sheer, I have nothing in my inventory and I need to fight this. How do I do it? And once you kind of get used to the fact that there's both of those things and you learn, like learning both of them takes some time, but it's not a hard speed run to get into. It just takes a little bit of doing to kind of understand how to generate maximum damage in a situation. I did not fire off my special there because I'm talking. I want to do this because it's AoEs a lot. But once you get that down pat, this is actually a fantastic little speed run if you like beat 'em ups especially.
To beat 'em up with some neat RPG elements. And,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're just gonna bombard these from over here because I don't feel like going over there. If you're out of position, sometimes using the long range crouch special can get you out of a lot of trouble in a hurry. So we need to get a second lantern for that door. We need 2, not 1.
That's going to come from the a boss fight that is totally not a chocobo.
Absolutely not a chocobo.
Definitely not a chocobo. I don't know why anyone would think that she's a chocobo knight.
Da, 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 da. Oh wait,
Not
sorry,
a chocobo. Not a chocobo. Wrong. Absolutely not.
My bad.
It's fine. You know what the split is in my live split for this fight for every character who fights it? Its name is Chocobutt. Oh, ow, that hurt. Why? I got hit? That seems bad.
Oh, wow, you're taking damage here.
I'm taking a little bit of damage here.
Oh, we got the nice juggle off though.
Fire spirits.
Fire spirits is it's the third type of the fire potion, and it's kind of a
Important.
nifty little one because it makes little fire orbs just spin around Mercedes constantly and do damage to anything that's near her. It is real good.
So between the Odin sphere itself, the hunter shot, and the fire spirits, how many different kinds of orb are in this game?
There's a lot
Yes.
of orbs in this game.
Oh, this is bad. This is very bad. This is a little early. I didn't want to start taking damage right in a second. Am I trying to take damage? Yes. Am I trying to take damage right now? No.
Trying to take damage. That is a lot of fire right now.
Yeah, that was not good.
Maybe we can get set on fire one more time.
That's the goal. Precisely one more time. All right. Well, we're not going to. We're gonna play this one safe.
Game, Demi needs little of fire as a treat.
So the problem is once you kill the boss, all the fire disappears. That's a problem.
Why are you trying to be such low health?
So there's a mini boss behind this door.
Yeah, it's an auto-scroller, right?
It's not a scroller. There's a mini boss. We could kill the mini boss. We could fight this mini boss. See, look, ready? Here she is. She's got a sword. She's a soldier of fire. We think she's great, right? I'm shooting her. Look, I'm shooting her. She stabs me for 114. I'm gonna shoot her again. Look how much health. I've already done half a health bar of her health already.
Well, the first health bar anyway.
I need to stop shooting there. I kind of messed that up. I meant to take this death here, but I'm gonna die. And I'm actually gonna get, when you die, you get sent beyond the location of the auto scroller. So basically, you're skipping the auto scroller. I actually did that very
We'll need some chocolate to get our health.
to get her health back because we don't want to go into a fight on 1 health. That's a bad idea. Like, we just don't want to do that. That's unwise. I want to set up a down exit here. We don't need any more boxes at this point. I think we're done with treasure chests, if I remember correctly. So we're just going to haul it to the left. I grabbed the next treasure chest because there's other chocolate in it, and I kind of want that for later, but otherwise... This is Elder Salamander. Elder Salamander is just a salamander with like 1 trillion hit points, roughly. At least it sure feels that way when I fight it.
Well, I mean, this is like a level 40 enemy, and
Level 30.
you're not level 30 yet.
I'm close. that level 2 material. Alright. Time for your favorite boss in the game, isn't it? Pretty sure this is your favorite boss, right?
This is my favorite boss. We are coming up on the boss that Demi lovingly refers to as Tiny Dragon Run Killer. Hi, it me, I'm Tiny Dragon.
It's a tiny dragon, but what about that second part, the run killing? What's up with that?
So, when I first started learning this game, this fight is super technical and super difficult. And casually, this fight is just evil.
Yeah, so, we have Leventhin here. He's the king of dragons. That crown on his head makes him really powerful, and at one point we've already knocked it off. It's sitting on the ground over there somewhere else on the screen. At one point, he will try to go, like, if we let him, like, get out of stun and juggle animations, he will try to go and pick it up. And when he does, then he starts doing some horrendously powerful attacks.
Also becomes completely immune to being stunned or knocked out of attacks as well for a very long period of time.
Oh, so this is the Mario Odyssey fight. You got to keep the hat off.
It's not gonna happen. It's doable with Gwendolyn. I could probably do it with Cornelius at this point. With Mercedes, we sort of just
he
accept
picks
the
up
fact
the
that it's
thing,
gonna
and
happen.
now we'll see Tiny Dragon Run Killer really do some of the things that make him Tiny Dragon Run, or, if you mess up and get hit by one of these big attacks, you probably just die.
Yeah, this attack looks really impressive because, like, it's really impressive.
It's telegraphed super much, but yeah, you get hit by that thing, you're dead. Even if you're playing this casually,
You probably
you might
die.
still just be dead there.
But the thing is that air dodging is good, so we're just going to use air dodge and just try and outmaneuver the dragon here.
Yep. Yeah, the real trick here is that we want to be constantly doing damage, and because it's a small target, like, it's easy to just be kind of whiffing your shots. It's easy to, like, let him kind of get out of control and, like, fly halfway across the screen out of your range. There's a lot of things that make the fight much more technical than most of the fights, and that's one of the things that makes him Tiny Dragon Run Killer.
And when you're talking about the technical side of this fight, does that just mean it's a dangerous fight, or it's just hard to get down optimally?
It's hard to get down optimally.
Yeah, that second part, really. It's like, because, you're if you're whiffing shots, then, like, not only are you not doing damage right then and there, but you're also, like, letting the dragon do more things that could be more dangerous to your health as well.
Yep, you're basically letting the dragon win at that point. All right, we are near at the end already here. Can't believe we've been 45 minutes into this run already, and we are going to finish the war that we started so many hours ago. Well, so many minutes ago, I guess. We are going back to the
Almost
site.
an hour ago.
We're going back to the site of the cauldron to finish the war. Right, this is a very mythical thing, but we're going to take our magic crossbow and we are going to save the world from Odin. This is very important. We don't like Odin. This is the longest chapter in the speed run of any of the 5 characters. My personal best on this chapter clocks in just under 13 minutes.
And that is despite Mercedes, of the 5 characters, being the fastest character. And there's an auto-scroller skill.
Yep. This chapter is long. There's a lot of chances to save time, though there's a lot of chances to lose time as well. Most of this is that, really, we put the third point in a round shot there when we have the opportunity for this chapter alone, because, oh boy, do we use it a lot. Enemies start giving a lot of phosons in this chapter, so we get a lot of magic power, which means that we can fire a lot of round shots. We're going to fire a lot of round shots.
It sure is from chat. It sure is a good thing that there's no other threats to the world aside from Odin in this game.
Correct. Correct. There's only one problem. It's Odin.
Yes, definitely.
And his sphere.
I mean, for Mercedes, that's accurate, honestly, until, you know, until other plot events happen. So
is there like a true ending to this game of like you beat all the characters and there's like a big baddie boss?
So yeah, so this is so I mean it's called Armageddon in this game, but I mean if you know Norse mythology, you know about Ragnarok and the end of the world. It is a thing that happens. But basically, yes, the actual end of the game is you play with all 5 characters, and then there's a 6th chapter, which is a boss rush, basically, where you fight 5 different bosses with the 5 characters.
Is that something you would ever consider speedrunning, or have you speedrun it before?
I have not done all characters yet. Considering you cannot do a lot of the techniques I use in my PB routes because of the fact that you need some of the potions for endgame bosses. It is an over 6-hour run.
Oof, ouch.
Yeah, it is a haul. We're gonna keep you up here, I guess.
Yeah, because each character is a little over an hour, right?
I have 3 of them under an hour now.
And how does that compare to the world record?
For what all characters or?
For each of those character routes that you have under an hour.
Every route, I have the world record for every route on easy. The other major runner, OC, who runs this, has every character on normal. But I run on easy because I think it's a much more interesting speed run because it's much more combat oriented, much less grind oriented. I want you to summon? I guess I don't.
Yeah, because at some point the normal speedrun route just becomes a lot more about like, well, just to be doing damage, you need more levels so that the boss fights don't take forever.
Yep.
How much of a time difference is there between the 2 routes?
About 12 minutes.
Okay, that's less bad than I was afraid of.
Oh, Demi, you're taking a lot of damage here. You're at only 135 health right now.
Yep. You're dang right, I'm at 113 health right now. So yeah, we're at 113 health right now. Fozons will always on easy heal you up to about 30% of your maximum health, so. But it's a little bit easier for me to take the damage on that fight for the second auto-scroller skip. Like, I could take some damage here, and I probably will, from these dwarf bombs. That's fine. Because you also don't get full Fozon healing if you're on fire. But the problem is if I take another hit here, I may die if it's the blue Valkyrie leaders that hit me, so I'm trying to be a little bit careful. Yeah, that hurt a lot. That hit for 77. You die, really. You need to go down because I need you to not end my run. Thanks. I mean, the run won't end. You just go back to the start of the fight that you're in, but we don't want to do that. All right,
As it turns out, restarting fights is slow.
As it turns out, failing is bad, yes. But we get this decay key. We're going to use it to pop open this door. We're going to fly to the right here through 2 screens. We have to sort of touch down and we start our flight here. We want to try to fly as low to the ground here as we can because we want to come up through here. And this is where we normally fight Dwarven Airship, which is my favorite mini-boss in the game. And we are going to be not seeing it because I'm going to die in 2 hits. Last meal. We are going to use this level 4 material we got. We have this milk. We're just going to do this real quick. We're going to take the quick food safety here. This will get me like level 33. I'm going to grab the next treasure chest as well because I'm going to do something cheeky for safety as well. It's not strictly optimal, but I find it hilarious. So I've sort of started implementing it in my runs, which is I'm going to plant a seed. I'm going to plant my one.
It's not optimal. In the end, it probably costs or...
It's no time at all, actually.
It does not cost time, and it is probably worthwhile.
It costs me the time to menu, and I can just do my alchemy at the same time. Because I do need to do a tiny bit of alchemy for the last fight. I really should route in a second overload, by the way, and for the Berserker fight. FYI, I have not done that. Like, I could probably save about 20 seconds of this chapter if I do that correctly. Not a big deal. But we're going to grab this one seed, which is a reward seed for safety. It's an interesting safety, in so much as that it's the best ingredient in the game. It also lets you heal for a ton, but this is End of War. But what we're going to do here is we are going to use this level 3 material. We're going to throw 5 pieces of equipment at it. Right, we're going to make it... Nope, we're going to do this. I do want to use the grape. I'm fussing a little bit here. It's fine. Well, we're going to make this a level 6 overload. We're going to take this Fire Spirits potion we have, which is level 4. We're going to throw these 2 materials at it. We're going to throw this fruit at it. We're going to make it level 5. And we need this for the Odin fight. And then we are going to go over to here, and we're going to grab this 1 reward seed. I had a second one. See? I was fine. We're going to plant it.
We're waiting for plants to grow.
Yep.
Except we're doing it while we're busy fighting.
Right. It takes 40 phosons. I am literally just going to let it just absorb the souls of these fallen enemies. And maybe spews them out myself, too.
That's right, everyone. Trees steal your souls.
We have time for a donation here or soon.
This is a good time for donations before we go into the final boss fight.
Yep.
Awesome. We have $25 from Anonymous with no comment. Thank you so much. And we also have $2 from yours truly, frozenflygone. And it says, Demi, Syl, and Leggy, the 3 of you have made joining Frame Fatales a welcoming and amazing experience. Thank you all for your friendship. You all inspire me so much to better myself as a speedrunner and friend. So thank you to the 3 of you.
Aww.
Thank you.
Well, you're wonderful too, Flygon. I can't imagine this group without you.
So just wanted to say thanks, and I appreciate it.
All right. We're done. It's time.
It is time to face the orb.
This run's going to be solid. It's going to be, assuming I don't die, it's going to be probably IGT 56s, which is fine. Maybe 57s. This fight's a little long, but we'll see if I can get through it here real quick. But we are going to start fighting Odin here. We lead off this fight the same way every time, because we have been hoarding all of this stuff for this fight.
The orb will not be at the beginning of the fight.
Nope.
But we've hoarded. We've got, some fancy little potions that we're dropping right at the beginning. That overload that we did all that alchemy for, we'll use that actually a little bit into the fight, because the fight gets more dangerous as Odin takes more damage, and we want those. The overload makes our damage increase greatly, and we want that for the end of the fight more so than the beginning.
Yeah,
we are unloading pretty much everything we have here.
All right, we're about a bar and a half in. All right, now it's the time. We're going to pop this, we're going to pop this, we're going to throw this, we're going to throw this, we're going to drink this. We actually got a rare potion. We got a restore potion, which gives you 30 Phozon power. We're going to use that too.
Yeah, that's a real nice find.
Yeah, that's a rarity, and we're going to take advantage of it.
We are juggling Odin. But as I mentioned, you can only really juggle for 1 health bar, or really for Mercedes, it's more limited by one power bar for crossbow.
Mm-hmm.
We're also kind of juggling at point blank, so those fire spirits add to the damage too.
Yep, this is very much an important setup as anything, because we don't want to use the potions until we start our juggle setups, because damage optimizations. As you can see, Odin just punched me for like 300 health.
Ouch.
It's fine.
Ouch.
And now it is time for the Odin Sphere. Now it is time for the Odin Sphere, and now we need to be a little bit careful because oh god, yo, get your
orb.
We are. So orb. we made this reward. We're eating it. It gives us some extra maximum health as well as a full heal. What potions do I have left?
It is worth noting that this isn't Breath of the Wild. Eating is not instantaneous. You do actually pause and stand there for the eating animation.
It's fine. It's actually okay. Odin throws the orb away now.
As long as he wants to stand in that fire, we're fine with this.
And down goes Odin. Wars end.
Yay!
And, time is basically going to be fade to black here, right?
Yeah, time is now. Time for RTA's last hit. So time is over for RTA. But we're gonna check our IGT. That's super important.
Yeah, IGT is the true, and the other super important thing that we do in the attic besides checking our IGT.
Oh, we gotta pet the cat.
We gotta pet the cat.
Yes.
But first I do have to check my IGT though, and take a second to stretch my hand out. IGT 5642 is solid. I am not feeling bad about that at all.
GG.
Sub 57 is very, very.
That's about
very,
a minute. That's a minute off of world record or so.
Yeah, I mean, I think it needs to be. I think it still needs to be. I think it still needs to be verified. But my record is 55:28.
Awesome.
I was actually. I think it's set to running as my averages, which is usually safer for a marathon run. So I was actually right on my average basically for that, which was still pretty good.
Yo, nice.
Yeah. So that is Odin Sphere Leifthrasir, the Mercedes route, the crossbow queen herself, plays very differently than all the other characters. Again, one of my favorite games of all time. It's why I've just put time and time into this. It's very funny because when Gwendolyn was winning the bid war, I ran a Gwendolyn run earlier on my own stream just for practice to get stretched out, warmed up in case I needed to run Gwendolyn, and beat the world record by 19 seconds. So I had to practice from PB today, at least, if nothing else. But this was a lot of fun. I am always super glad. So Syl and Leggy, thank you for carrying the commentary so that I could bear down and focus today. That was a lot of fun. And yeah, and again, Flygon, thank you. It was a pleasure getting to meet you and hang out with you. And yeah.
It was.
And this is the end of my runs for this Frame Fatales. I know that just like to give a couple of shout outs real quick then, because of course, this route was guaranteed to be underestimate. But I'd like to shout, of course, the RPG Valkyrie as my own team. I know a bunch of us have had runs in this marathon. I don't want to list everybody because I will forget somebody. And of course, shout outs to the Edge Case Collective. I know Leggy's a member, but of course, a bunch of those wonderful folk have runs in this marathon as well, and are generally all great and good friends. And so, thank you all. And of course, to Amatrine Kythera, who's in the other room right now, who is pinging me on Discord. I love you. You're fantastic. Thank you for letting me do these silly marathon things. It is fantastic. And everybody out there who's listening, keep on supporting Malala Fund. Keep on supporting this wonderful charity. Keep on supporting education for women out there in the world. And thank you for your generosity.
Thank you so much, Demerine, for that amazing run. I hope everyone in chat enjoyed it. All right, all. This is the end of my hosting shift for today. Thank you guys for sticking with me through the Games of the Month block. I've been loving hanging out in chat with you all, answering questions, reading your donations. Your generosity has really made my heart so full. Thank you for supporting Malala Fund and this event. So we're going to go over to an ad, but I will see you all later.
All right, so we are back with Frost Fatales 2020. Just letting you know of some upcoming. Oh. Can you hear me? Ah, there we go. I can hear you now. All right, we are back with Frost Fatales 2020. Just letting you know of some of these upcoming incentives that we have here. For Legend of Legaia 2, if we want to do the rice planting mini game, that's $750. We're currently sitting at 0. I would really want to see that get met. Legend of Legaia 2 is actually extremely pretty cool game. I think you need to get that money in. There's also for Lang's Comeuppance in Legend of Legaia 2, that's $500. We're only sitting at 30 for that. If you want Lang to get theirs, you get those donations in. There's also the Learning with Liz Pringles live race that we need $3,000 for if you too would like your Pringles to go fast, and I think we all do. You should get that money in. We also have the Chocobo Racing Final Fantasy VIII circuit. That we need $1,000 for that.